This is the High Desert Lutherie podcast.
Oh, I see to recognize your feet, haunting, familiar yet I can't seem to place it. Cannot find the candle of thought to light your name. Oh, lifetimes are catching up with me.
Welcome to the High Desert Lutherie podcast. I'm Perry from Unga Guitars and the creator of the High Desert Lutherie Invitational, or HDLI for short. The HDLI is a small trade show that'll happen twice a year and is a celebration of luthiers, luthier-adjacent creators, musicians, and the art that comes from combining these things. The HDLI supports the music community by providing free booths to the vendors and free admission to the public. All of the participating vendors and musicians are curated by me to create a cohesive, organized event. The HDLI encourages community and collaboration amongst the artists. This podcast is one way to help us all get to know one another. To learn more about our show and the artists, please visit our website, highdesertlutherie.com. To listen to more episodes of the podcast, please visit our YouTube channel, High Desert Lutherie Podcast. You can also keep up with updates about High Desert Lutherie on our Instagram page, High Desert Lutherie. While you're visiting the Instagram and the YouTube, please do hit all the good buttons, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Every bit of help goes a long way in helping us grow High Desert Lutherie. Joining me today, TYDE Music. They make some wonderful ukes. Oftentimes when you're working on acoustic guitars, they tend to be really big, and picking pieces of wood that you can get a good book match and just have one joint in the top instead of multiple joints can be challenging at times. And when it comes to ukes or ukulele sized instruments, because they're so small, you have way more variety of different pieces of wood that you can work with. I love some of the combos these guys come up with. I do enjoy a uke now and then. They're so fun to play. I enjoy the tones of the strings, the tunings. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the interview. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
I'm Ty, and this is Devin. We go by TYDE, and we put our first two letters together, and probably 13 years ago we came up with the name, and it stuck.
Partnerships, it's a great thing. I haven't really ever experienced that myself, only recently when I asked my girlfriend to start helping me a little more. So High Desert Lutherie, the voice of it is both of us, and then we both kind of design the guitars now and, put up the booth and all of that stuff. It's very nice to have help.
Yes.
I've never had help before, and to get a different flavor, some freshness. How did your partnership come to be?
Tyler and I know each other from childhood, actually. We grew up in North Idaho, and our families were friends. And when we migrated down to the Tahoe area where we are now, we ended up meeting up again, got some jobs together doing construction, and then started working with some kind of more artistic woodworking, doing some furniture. I went on a trip one time to Hawaii and picked up a cheapo ukulele, but wanted to make a nice one. And then Tyler was down to do it with me. And then that's kind of how we started doing the musical instruments. Definitely nice having each other in the shop to bounce ideas off and keep company going. Also found our roles, our strengths,
That's a really important thing, Who tends to lean into, what process stronger than the other, and it's tricky when you start saying better, because then feelings can take over. And just having worked in a production shop, that's a big thing. It's like, all right, who's going to fit into this job better than somebody else might, or who might be able to handle this kind of work more efficiently. So how do you guys split up your work? For instance, do you have one guy that works on bodies, one guy that works on necks, or?
I mainly do the bodies, and Devin mainly does fretboards, necks, and fitting that together, and then either one of us dial them in, but he's the uke ninja.
Right on. Do you guys make all the different sizes of ukuleles, or do you mainly stick to like a certain scale length?
We can do them from soprano to baritone, and we do. And we also have like a baby tenor, which is this one right here. So in between a concert and a tenor. So it's like a
16 and an eighth inch
eight.
scale.
Yeah, gives you a little bit more room. Pretty comfortable. Just a little bit bigger than the concert. A little bit smaller than the tenor.
I've noticed that you guys use quite a bit of walnut.
It's available to us in like the valley in California. We get it down in like the Chico area.
And how would you describe the characteristic sound of walnut on a uke?
I mean, it's got some warm tones to it, pretty similar to koa, I think. We're calling it mainland koa. It's because it kind of looks some of the same figure and stuff like that, and then tonal qualities and density as far as like when you're sanding it down kind of feels the same. I think it makes a pretty good sounding uke. We just started ones for the first time that are walnut tops. Typically, we do it with a redwood or cedar top. But yeah, they sound great. We like to use it just because it's more sustainable, you know. Usually, when those trees get cut down, they plant new ones. They wait to cut them down after they stop producing, kind of thing.
And who we get it from, they mill up a lot for gun stocks. We're making a peaceful weapon instead.
Right on. I like that. I like the mainland koa. Yeah, having worked with a lot of walnut, I do see some similarities, especially in the figured or like fiddleback walnut, how strong the figure can come through in some koa. Like it is very similar. The descriptions, that mainland koa, that's really got me right now. I really like that. Occasionally, I'll cut the end off a board, like especially a walnut board, and cut it into a book match set or split it any other way I can, depending on the dimensions. And I was thinking, oh man, this would look great for a uke. So Hawaii was the inspiration to start the ukes. Have you ever ventured into any other instruments?
A little bit. We make some cajon drums, and we've made some didgeridoos before. With the ukulele, we've also done like a guitar version that we call a galele, and we've done that in a tenor size, which is like a 17-inch scale, and that's tuned like if you had the capo on the fifth fret of the guitar, fourth up.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the baritone size of the galele is tuned E to E, just like a regular guitar, just smaller.
And that's 20 and an eighth scale.
Yeah. We just did start two of our first parlor guitars. Got the sides bent and some of the linings put in right now. So
Wow, all right. So are they like based on a style O or single
there
O?
there's some parlors off like that 1918 Martin
Oh,
style.
okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan of parlor guitars. I have mine right here. So this is a single O style based
Yeah,
on the all mahogany. So it's all mahogany,
nice.
back, sides, top, neck. I have no bindings because I don't like bindings. I noticed that about your guys' stuff, and I was like, whoa.
Was that one just fretted to was that the 14th or the
To the
12th?
body joint, I think it's 12. Yeah, just to the body joint. It's also a super deep body too. When I worked for Santa Cruz Guitar Company, I bent all the sides and made the bodies for my time there, and I got to experiment occasionally on my own with body depth for players. And one of the biggest things that I learned is you can change the voice of a small bodied guitar drastically with the depth of the body. And being that I'm a pretty little dude, I'm like 5'6" on a good day. To reach over a dreadnought, as nice as they sound, is very
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It's even uncomfortable to sit with. I'm not a big acoustic guitar player. When I decided, well, it's about time I make myself something, I decided on a parlor size, and I don't think I care for the scale length. I kind of like a longer scale length. This is probably like 24 3/4 or in that ballpark. It's just a personal taste. But overall, like the size of it's really nice and it's deep. It's very deep. I think it's like 5 inches at the tail and like 4 at the neck, and you can definitely hear it. But what are some of the things that you're doing with your parlor build?
We're doing two of them. One's going to be mango with a walnut rosette.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be all the sides, back, and top are going to be mango. And then we're doing black and white ebony, which is the rosette on this one with spruce. And then black and white sides and back. And
oh, right on. Right. Is that one of those LMI molds? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Right. We got it right when they were going out of business or whatever. So this one has the mango sides, but we're putting this thick lining in there so we can get a nice bevel all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
This is the back to the mango. This is the pale moon ebony.
Whoa. That's neat. I wonder what that's going to sound like. That's probably going to be pretty bright.
Yeah, with the spruce too.
This one has, I don't know if you can see it on there, a bunch of wormholes on it too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
We like to use the rustic stuff a lot with the wood, you know.
I don't think I've ever seen an acoustic guitar made out of ebony. I certainly never made one myself. That's a really, really bold move.
We've built a couple with the black and white ebony and a spruce top with the ukulele, and it's almost similar to like a rosewood spruce build in the tone usually.
Mm.
That wood's kind of really dramatic, so I like it.
Looks like the tail is about 4 inches on the depth and then 3.5 at the heel block on these ones. Probably a little bit more standard.
Yeah, yeah.
But we could maybe, I mean, obviously we could thicken those up, and then with the bevel that we do, it makes it feel a little bit narrower, that soft edge.
Yeah, can you show on one of your ukuleles back there what that bevel looks like so everyone's familiar?
So you can kind of see the soft edge to it all the way around. And it makes it look heavy, but it's actually, it's light. It's not like we're building out the whole side. We're just building out like the kerfing, you know, with solid wood. So then we're able to take that away and give it a nice look. This is koa, and then this is Tasmanian blackwood, which is the grandpa to koa.
Yeah.
Zircode for the bevel, and ebony bridge and fretboard with a nice slotted headstock.
Oh, wow. I love the layers on that.
Devin's pretty good at sculpting that away.
Cool.
This is one of our ukuleles. So this is like a baritone size. It has the natural live edge sound hole on this one. This is a slim body. So the body and the neck are all one piece. Only like a 1 3/4, 2 inches thick. It's easy to travel with, you know?
Yeah.
That's like CNC construction. We get an 8/4 piece of cherry and then CNC that out and then properly brace the top and the back.
Gotcha. I figured it was something along the lines of, oh, that really does look like that came from a slab of wood carved out somehow with the top and the back. That's great to know. So what kind of CNC router are you guys using?
It's a Laguna. He's down in Sacramento. Cuts us the parts. He used to work with us when we were up in Lake Tahoe, and then we split ways and he went back to where he's from, and then Devin and I found a shop in Verdi eventually, and we've been here for about 2.5 years now. Almost 3 years.
Right on. That's cool. Looks like you got some decent space.
This is the old Verdi Lumber Company. This was built in 1916. But yeah, we got like our dirty area over there, and then storage in the back, and this is like all of our workspace, all of our workbenches.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, the railroad tracks are right here, so they used to just put lumber on the railroad and mill it just down the road, and then this would be their storage. I guess we're kind of discovered by being unique and taking materials from like Lake Tahoe. Our neighbor up there, he would rebuild the piers on Lake Tahoe, and so we would get cedar, mahogany from some of these decks, and we got a write-up in USA Today and the Reno Gazette about us like reclaiming wood and, you know, turning piers into musical instruments. And it's pretty fun to just use old and has a story to it, and maybe that person that buys that instrument has even been on that pier or reminds them of their childhood in Lake Tahoe. Or we use the nail holes, you know, we try to leave it as natural as nature left it to us.
That's really nice. Reclaiming stuff, reusing it, upcycling.
Yeah.
That's very fun, very creative. Sometimes you find yourself in a bit of a mess, dealing with some of those materials, but
Yeah.
figuring it out is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, like reinforcing it and all that,
So this piece came off a barn up in Eureka, Northern California area, but it has all the old circular saw marks.
Oh, yeah.
So I think these days, a lot of times they use a bandsaw when they're milling it.
Yep.
So this kind of just tells you the age of it just by looking at it,
Definitely.
Some character. This is Murata.
Oh, okay.
We did a Myrtle for the roundover.
That roundover is so cool.
Kind of just fades.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it nice and strong too, like kind of like laminated sides or something.
Okay.
So the rim's just like super rigid. Not only do you get the comfort, but it gives a good platform for the soundboard to vibrate off,
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a plus to have the frame be nice and rigid. So, do you guys have any players right now that we can listen to that I can, share with our listeners that, we might be able to find like on Spotify or something?
Big one is Bobby Alou. It's an Australian dude, plays one of our baritones. He's kind of like almost islandy, kind of Jack Johnson-y type music, singer-songwriter, mellow hammock music, he calls it. And then another guy out of Fresno area, Edward Hernandez. Those guys are both on Spotify.
Mary Isis.
Yep, Mary Isis.
And then Mike Love, not the Beach Boy, but the reggae artist. Has a couple of our instruments, baritone and ukulele.
Chad Wilkins as well, maybe.
Yeah, Chad Wilkins. He's from the U.S., but he's in Australia.
Definitely check Bobby Alou, though.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up right now just so I can cue it up. All right.
And his mom taught him ukulele. She's Polynesian. She's from Tahiti or Samoa? She's from Samoa. And she's like a dancer, singer. So they're on tour right now doing a few shows together, which is pretty special.
That's wonderful. So you got some builds under your belt, you got some experience. What are some of the learning curve things that came up for you guys when you started?
Definitely figuring out how to bend the sides. So we didn't go to any school. We're all self-taught, so looking on YouTube. We started out with like a steam box, trying to steam them and then clamp them to the form, kind of. And then eventually moved to the heating pad form method. Went through some different bracing as well.
Because we started off with, just buying some plans and then kind of copying those. And then after we did like 4 of them and went to the Reno Ukulele Festival to show them the first time, then kind of that next year we transitioned into doing the bevel on the sides and like making our own shape and kind of just making it our own instead of going from just books and plans and YouTube and whatnot. So we just kind of took, a year or two just to kind of find our style. And we're still learning every day, which keeps the mind right. It's not just repetitive, and especially working with different woods that you have to super glue and patch on the back and, making it structurally sound. We've been pretty successful. We've had, some fails, but overall I'd give us an A.
Thanks, Steve.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. I think a lot of builders struggle with side bending because it's quite the mystery until you find something that works for you. My whole learning experience was Santa Cruz Guitar Company, so I'm just in it. Day one, you gotta bend these sides. Yeah, go over there and bend those sides. And I'm like,
how much is this set?
Yeah, that was literally how it went. And you fuck up a few times, and if you're, sort of like mechanically inclined, then you might start to figure things out.
Different woods and how much figures on them, and yeah, it's definitely a lot of feel. I do most of the side bending.
Yeah, getting the thickness and the old floppy test,
Yeah,
and see how flexible it is. And I've learned over time, like it's nice to have support above
yeah,
on all the outside bends, as well as when you're bending the waist in to have support under that.
yep,
Was figured woods. Lately, I mostly just use a pipe. I've sort of gone backwards in, my technique, but I'd say my skill is a little bit better. I hope it's a
what
little bit better.
what years did you work with Santa Cruz Guitar?
I was there from, I think, '05 to 2015.
I might have been there. I came and met Richard and took a little tour once or twice. I think it was once. You might have been there. It must have been right around 2015.
Yeah, there's a good chance I was there.
Yeah, I
There's a
mean,
good
there's
chance
a whole crew in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were always just kind of heads down trying to hit our numbers for the day and not mess
Yeah,
anything up. And the cool thing about that shop is the amount of handwork
yeah, there's
that
a lot in there.
that still goes on. Like when I was there, it was probably about like 85% to 90% handwork. And I'm sure it's changed since I've been there. But the product is still tremendous, and it's a great way to cut your teeth. If you can get into
Yeah,
a production shop like that, where you're not just loading a machine and kind of going through the motions. Where you actually have to develop some serious hand tool skills and some great patience as well as work ethic. To stay in a production job like that, and some people stay for a couple years. Some people stay forever. He's had guys there like the whole time he's been in business. And then, some people stay shorter than that. But the crazy amount of talented luthiers that have rolled through those doors, it's stupendous. That's cool that you got to experience that. We toyed around with ukes, not very seriously. It's so challenging going from things that are this big that you can kind of crawl through.
yeah,
There's a picture of me like sort of resting in a set of sides that are blocked up, and I'm lining them and I'm cleaning them, and I'm kind of resting in it. Um, and you go to, ukes, which are real tight quarters, and, you
sure.
still want to get that attention to detail. And I love them, but I have a love-hate relationship making them in
Yeah,
that it's just so small.
We've noticed already with the guitars how far we've got, how much easier it is to deal with because there's more room.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, fix little things on the inside of those bodies and stuff too. Is definitely, you got to get creative with some jigs and stuff like that, or little holders.
Yep. What kind of finishes are you guys using?
we're using Walrus Oil. They sent us some of their product a couple of years ago, and we were doing True Oil, and then these guys hit us up, and we really liked it. So we do the furniture oil that like penetrates, and then we do the furniture butter. We do about, let's say, 3 to 4 coats of that. Do some buffing in between, and then we finish it with the wax. It's just like a really nice feel to it. It's like a satin, matte finish instead of that high gloss. Not spraying anything. It's natural and no harm to the environment, which is nice, and to our lungs and whatnot.
It feels like wood still, instead of like with lacquers, how it can get kind of plasticky. We like it for that.
Yeah, shout out to Walrus Oil. They just sent me some samples,
Nice.
and looking forward to working with more of their products. I definitely support them in
Yeah.
how natural the products are and non-toxic, if not altogether food grade.
Yeah.
It's stupendous. Like it just blows my mind how good those products are, how easy they are to use.
I wanted to do a little like finish video or something where I actually put it on with my tongue.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure they'd get a kick out of that.
I think it'd be super funny, but I'm still a little bit scared to try it.
Yeah. The other thing I like about them is that if you reach out to them, you get like real people that are really involved with the company.
I mean, I talked to Dave. He's the founder, owner, and he's always just sending us new batches, test batches, testing them on us and a few of the other woodworkers out there that use their product. And yeah, he's been floating us stuff, and we appreciate that so much, and we stand by it, and we'll hopefully just continue this relationship with them and keep using that walrus oil.
Yeah, that person-on-person relationships, that goes a long way, and I can't thank Walrus Oil enough. We'll have to send them a link to this when we get it up on the YouTube channel, and a little thank you. And they're a really great company. Anybody out there that hasn't tried their products that is looking for like a great quality finishing wax, I can't recommend them enough. They're tremendous. Yeah, that kind of got me all sidetracked here. I have a list of questions that I kind of try and follow. I think this is one that I haven't worked in enough. What would you say your superpowers are in your shop, individually?
Anything you can fuck up, I can fix.
Right.
turns fuck up into features over here. This guy.
Oh, that's great.
I think Tyler's pretty good at like the detail work and stuff, in the finishing, but knowing how to get things just looking and feeling really nice.
I do all the photography for the Instagram, and that takes a lot of time too.
Yes.
I think that social media stuff definitely helps us when I'm on it.
That's how I found you guys.
Yeah.
And I think it was through Walrus Oil that I found you guys too. So
they shout us out, which is helpful. And I love photography. I wish I had more time to do it, but this is my number one, is being a luthier and woodworking, and try to do as much on there. So that's where most of our gallery is, I would say, is Instagram.
The other like combined superpower might be that we're just like can kind of go outside the box a lot and comfortable with trying new things, with the rustic kind of stuff and sculpting weird little angles and stuff like that.
So where do you see yourself, or where do you see TYDE in the next 2 years? Where would you like to be?
A little bit more financially comfortable. We're hanging in there, but I think, main focus has been the ukuleles, but the guitars coming up, maybe try to build like 6 of those a year or something along with the ukuleles still. I see us, maybe trying to get into that a little bit more broader collectors and clientele, Hopefully, we stand out with these ones coming out, and we get a little bit more comfortable and get better and better each time we build them.
Very well said. And you mentioned, financially. What do you guys do to support yourselves in the slow seasons?
Hope and pray. I don't know. This is pretty much our only gig,
Oh, wow.
And it's been decently steady. I don't know. Last year was kind of just a weird year for some reason. But the ukulele market's like pretty big, and it was like popular for the last 10 years. And we got a worldwide reach, but still kind of riding a roller coaster a lot of the time. We also think that we've kind of got a little bit of a brand going, so going into some other things like, I don't know, products like more clothing, or we just ordered some mugs that are going to have like the chord charts for ukulele on it.
Oh, fun.
Trying to find like little other things to keep us by, especially in these like tax season months, it's like usually January through March kind of is a little bit rough, but then we just keep grinding and come out with things that we want to build during those times and fulfill orders that we have.
It's kind of hard to step away with the shop, since it's like we got to cover that rent every month, So if we were to leave for a different job, it'd almost be like paying for it with that.
Oh, yeah.
This one's been one long in the making, at least the idea, but this one is pretty unique. It's a little mushroom, koa, and this is reclaimed walnut. You can see like book matched it, and we're like, whoa, there's actually little mushrooms in the walnut. This is from a countertop. And then, yeah, just like inside there, you can see we back those knots up with making some little mushrooms. And then Devin's working on the fretboard right now that has
little mushroom fret markers. That's dope.
Yeah. So This one's just a prototype that we've been building the last couple months. We've had this piece of koa for a while, and now it's finally coming to fruition.
That is so cool. Just to wrap things up, is there anything you'd like to share with our community of listeners and supporters?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at TYDE Music, and that's TYDE Music, and then same for Facebook. Our website's tydemusic.com. The ukulele site does really nice podcasts and tutorials and video samples. So they help us out a lot with some of the sales too and getting our name out there. And thanks for
Awesome.
hitting us up. We're excited to come down there.
Yeah, thanks for being willing to make the trip. I really appreciate it, and it's really fun having luthiers come from all over the place to help us put this show together because it goes both ways. Like we put a lot of effort into doing the show, but we can't have the show without vendors being willing to take a chance. So, thank you for being willing to take the chance. I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate you sharing some of your builds in progress, and very nice getting to chat with you.
Likewise.
Likewise, brother.
Awesome. Well, you guys take care. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thanks for joining me for another episode of the High Desert Luthery Podcast. Thank you to the guys from TYDE Music for joining me and sharing their work in progress, as well as giving us some good info on Walrus Oil, sharing their experience with Walrus Oil products. And thank you to Walrus Oil for sending me some samples and turning me on to TYDE Music. To listen to more episodes of our podcast, please do visit our YouTube channel, High Desert Luthery Podcast, to get more updates about our show and anything going on. You can check out our Instagram page, High Desert Luthery, and while you're at YouTube and the Instagram, please do hit all the good buttons and show us some love. Spread the word about what we do. This is a grassroots movement, and every bit of help matters and is greatly appreciated. Thank you to Allison for editing the podcast and helping me sound a whole lot smarter and give our listeners a much better listening experience. And to learn more about our show and all the artists involved, you can visit our website, highdesertluthery.com. I'm Perry from Unga Guitars. I greatly appreciate you listening to the end, and I will see you in the next one.